Y'all are much quieter. It's been about 2 years since I've uploaded, and a lot has changed in my life. You know, had to recharge the batteries a little bit in the social media game, so I'm glad I took some time away, and I know y'all understand. It can get a little overbearing at times, but I'm really happy with where I'm at and what we're doing now. Doing something I never thought I was doing. Doing something I never thought I would be doing. We are, I think I'm a farmer. We've got fruit trees, Christmas trees, some ducks, some chickens. We're looking at getting some goats. Man, a lot has really changed in my life, and it's changed for the best. So I'm really excited with where I'm at, and I feel like I'm finally to a point to where I'm ready to share it with you guys and take you along this journey of all the different things that I've been getting into and what's coming in the future. We just got this farm. It's about a 10-acre property in the Pacific Northwest, and we're looking to grow it and do all sorts of fun things here, really. I've been making paths with free wood chips. Huge win. I got quoted a price that was pretty ridiculous for all the wood chips I needed for what I've got going on. It was about 30 grand for really not even everything I needed. So I've just been doing it myself over the last few months, and I don't need a gym membership anymore. It's basically my workout now. I'm using these wood chips to create not just paths, but using this for a swale system that makes it so we don't need to use any chemicals for fertilizer. I'm using all these natural resources that were free from a local university that allow us to not spend a crazy amount of money on resources that should really be free. So this right here, we're standing in what is called a swale. It's basically a dip in the hillside that is like essentially a speed bump for fertilizer to catch all of the nutrients that would normally just be slicking off this red clay hillside all the way down to the bottom of our property. But now I've put this system in, and we're standing on about 12 to 18 inches of wood chips here that are just creating incredible soil. And it looks like, hold on, I don't know. This is some type of eggshell, and I thought I saw another piece over here. Yeah, I don't know if this is a robin egg. I'll have to look it up. But we have bluebirds, robins, hawks, owls, a little bit of everything out here. So I got to keep an eye on all my ducks and chickens when I let them roam. But that's on the list. Getting a fence, all sorts of things are on the list that I'd love to take you guys along and let you join in on the journeys of all the work we're putting into this place. Like right here, we've got a cherry tree that might need to put some security around it because we've got deers that like to come through. Here's some raspberries, strawberries, more strawberries, some flowers that are popping up. I seeded this whole area with some flowers with Simone. We've actually got onions that are popping up. I think these are shallots maybe. And then a blueberry right here we just got in the ground. This is a peach tree. We've got peaches, cherries, plums, apples, apricots, nectarines. Basically throwing everything in the ground, seeing what grows. It's kind of a trial and error experiment of everything to see what this hillside is liking. A lot of people in this area are telling me I can't grow fruit trees, and I've taken that as like a personal challenge to show that we can. Okay, we're gonna grow fruit trees in this area. We're on like a north-facing slope, so we don't get the most ideal sun conditions, especially in the winter. It gets pretty cold over here. We have 6 kinds of peaches, 6 different apples, 6 plums. I'm trying to see what grows best here, and then we can focus more on that as the growing seasons progress. And we just went through a gnarly windstorm that is looking like it took out some branches, but that's okay. You know, they're basically coming through, pruning themselves. This is one of the trees that's not budding right now. That is a flavor queen. I believe that's one of the pluots. This is a pear tree that I pruned super heavily. It's responding pretty well. It's got good growth on it. Yeah, it looks like this was the lead right here, the tallest branch, and the windstorm just came through and tore it apart. So a lot of these trees are only 2-3 years old. I put them in the dirt just hoping to get some roots going. I don't expect any fruit from them this year, but if we get some, that's a huge win. That's a big success. On the swales, I've planted and sown in seeds of all sorts of variety. A lot of rye grain, clover, red clover, white clover, crimson clover, a lot of nitrogen fixing. Oh, this tree got beat up in the windstorm. Come on. I'm seeing some deer prints too, so we could have a little deer action coming through, tearing these bad boys up. I'll see if I can start catching them on camera. So what I'm walking through right now is basically a trail system that I'm putting in. I guess it uses a trail. It's used as fertilizer for all these trees. Just the nutrient speed bump is what we're calling them. They're swales. A lot of people in the gardening world know exactly what these are. It's a pretty new system to me. The last 2 years I've been kind of studying up on what to do with land once we finally get it. Simone and I have been living in an apartment the last 10 years, so we haven't had an opportunity to do any of this stuff. This is our first crack at gardening, and we kind of went for the home run, dove in head first for sure. And it's been a really exciting process for us. A lot of learning coming along, but we see like the self-sustainability at the end of the tunnel for sure. So we'll see if anything grows over here. Like I said, a lot of people are saying in this neighborhood that, you know, fruit trees won't grow on this hillside, but I mean, that looks like pretty good growth to me. This might be a Granny Smith apple. Yeah, Granny Smith. Look at these flowers. Like if I can get one apple, that's all I want. This is an example of what these swales look like empty. And we just had a little rain, but not enough to fill it up. Normally after a rainstorm, this would be me standing in a puddle. So now all the water is getting absorbed by these fresh wood chips that we've put in that are anywhere from 12 to 18 inches deep, and I've still got more to add. As you can see, I kind of want to just make it flat across so you'll be able to walk up to the fruit trees. And yeah, we're getting there. It's getting mighty close. What do we have here? I believe this is a nectarine. None of the nectarines, well, I shouldn't say none. I think there's one that's budding right now. We've got growth down at the base here, but as you can tell, these buds are just kind of black. So I might come through and prune all the nectarines up pretty heavily because I just want to send life down into that root system. This is a peach also that's doing really well. Just put this mulch ring around it. That's basically its fertilizer for the season. I'll probably have to come back every 3-4 months and make sure all the mulch rings are proper, and I'll be able to just basically take these wood chips. Gosh, it's crazy how warm these wood chips stay. But I'll be able to take these wood chips that are just breaking down and use them as soil and plant heavily up in here. I'm using some soil builder crops up in here to bring the nutrients up from all this crappy clay soil to the tree roots can all extend along the surface and use them as fertilizer. And I'll come back, cut all these down and just lay them down in place, and they'll decay and fertilize all these little speed bumps. So we've got a lot of projects coming up. I need to put a fence up. I need to interplant in between all of these trees. Blueberries, you know what? That's what's happening. These birds are landing on top of these branches, these heavy robins, and they're just snapping these branches. What's a guy gonna do about that? That's totally what's happening. These birds are just smacking these little baby branches. Yeah. Hey, only the strong will survive. That's kind of been the methodology with it all. Whatever's weak will not survive. And I don't want the weak plants. I want them to weed themselves out, and we're gonna find out what's gonna grow best over here. And then we're basically gonna try to farm it, sell crops off, give, you know, fruits, vegetables, eggs. Maybe we're gonna get some goats, some milk, and hook our community up. That's been one of my biggest inspirations behind it all, is getting our families fed in a healthy and sustainable way. You really don't know what we're eating nowadays. That's the hard part. What is truly organic? What is not? There's no chemicals on our property. We are just sourcing everything through wood chips and getting seeds and trying to build all this beautiful soil back up. Another project is I've got some bare land that I need to get covered over here. I want it to be all flowers. I put flower seed down, but none of it is taking off because this soil is just super buns. So this was like a wildflower mix that I sprinkled out, and some of them are popping up, but it just looks like grass and some weeds are popping up, which are fine. Weeds are fine. They'll flower, they'll bring in pollinators, but I would like to, gosh, a lot of these branches have come off. I thought it was windstorm, but it was just those big birds destroying them. To nature techs. I'm all over the place, but basically what I'm trying to say is I'm back making videos, and I want to make them, you know, in a sustainable way. I'm not trying to go for viral hits like I was. Just wanting to document what I'm doing every day on the daily and take you guys along with me. Like, these are the wildflowers. They smell good. So they'll attract pollinators, but this is the swale I'm working on right now. You can kind of see the increase of, I don't know, it's probably like eight inches or so of where I'm throwing wood chips on top of. And like you can see, they are all different kinds of chips. Like this is more pine needles, so it's gonna be a little more acidic over here. This is more of a carbon heavy wood, but still has some green nitrogen mixed in. I'll be able to get into more detail about like what's really going on over here. We'll get in the weeds, what's really going on. And then all this was just like bare soil on the backside that I've been trying to cover up and seed as well. Basically we want to cover all bare soil with like a mulch blanket, you know, a wood chip blanket to keep things warm, to where the seeds can all start germinating and take off really. So this is all new to me. I'm learning. The goal is long-term to be fully self-sustainable, live off our land. Wow, we have a ton of seedlings popping up from these trees. These are those. So maybe I'll relocate some of these guys too. There's endless things to be doing on this hillside, and I don't know if all you guys are going to be interested in watching these types of videos, but it's basically what I'm doing. I have zero expectations for views on this, but I want to be able to tell you guys, you know, what I'm doing, how I'm spending my money, what I'm investing my time in, my energy in. And now we're back to this top swale. Might make some workout videos too. Been working out, just doing farm fitness. We've got, is this lavender? Yeah. Relocated a lavender plant. I want to put herbs, vegetables, and different things that I don't have to tend to on these swales. So they're a little further from the house. I don't want to have to give them a ton of attention and energy. But this first year, getting all these systems started is really the bulk of it. And after that, we'll just reap all the benefits, hopefully, God willing. If I can keep the ducks and chickens away from the swales without a fence, that'd be a success too. But they have been turning over some flowers, and that's all right, as long as they give us eggs. We're getting 9 eggs a day right now, and that's a lot more than what Simone and I can handle. I'll go show you guys where the eggs are at. We're taking down this fence and turning it into a greenhouse, like hangout area. There was chicken wire all around here that we've taken out right now. I've got some asparagus that are popping up. We've been eating these. I've just been letting this area grow wild. We're gonna pop through here. Then we've got some raspberries that are flowering back in here. Here's some more raspberries. We're gonna have a ton of raspberries this year. I forgot to turn the water off, so I'm just overflowing their water drum. It's on like a self feeder. I'll show you when we walk over there. The chickens and the ducks have definitely been the most rewarding part so far. Same thing, I filled this all up with wood chips. The chickens scratch at it and flip it upside down, and eventually it'll be used as compost for garden beds. This is a little self feeder water system. When it gets empty, it just starts filling right back up. Normally, the chickens will lay eggs right here, but only one has. Where they're laying at now is right here. So these 5, the kind of like oyster color, almost blue greenish type, are duck eggs, which are delicious. And these brown ones and that brown one are chicken eggs. I had never eaten a duck egg before until we got ducks, and let me tell you, they are mighty delicious. And they are like 15-20% more protein and just pack a bigger punch, and they're great for baking as well. Simone just made brownies and cookies that were freaking fire. Shouts goes out to the ducks and the chickens for keeping us fed. We put this stair path in as well. Just put wood chips down on this path here that leads over to our barn and our greenhouse. We haven't gotten anything going in the greenhouse yet. Our priorities have kind of been elsewhere, but I need to cover this area with wood chips as well. It's just a good way to soak up nutrients, and when our dog runs on it, he isn't getting muddy if he's running on wood chips, but he comes back super muddy running on this. These wildflowers are beautiful, purple, just popping. Here, this is a good area for him. We call this the Gothic Church. No clue what to do with that yet. I'm sure this whole video seems like completely out of left field, but it's just totally what I'm fully into. I'm obsessed with this place. I love it so much. These oak trees get woodpeckers, owls, robins, all sorts of birds. This branch is kind of sketchy because it goes over the barn, so I might need to address that with the chainsaw soon. Just don't necessarily know how. Oh, another video I need to make is I'm gonna take some pallets, these and those, and make compost bins. I did have them over here, but we added on to this by about 20 feet from the dirt we took out over in this area. So I had to remove it, move it to a different spot, and now I'm trying to figure out where to put it, where to move this chicken coop to. You can see it just puddles up over here in these wood chips. There we go. So it holds in the water, and throughout the summer we shouldn't have to water any of our crops because all this stuff is so heavily sponged. The excavation killed this olive tree, which I'm not stoked about. Here's all onions lining up right here. Onions can kind of be used as like a defense layer against gophers and rodents that'll come up and steal your carrots. Got a little makeshift sink in this area for cleaning vegetables. And right now we just got stuff growing in it. But basically this hose runs over to here and voila, little tool shed. So we've got a lot going on over here. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to share it and show it with you guys and hopefully teach you guys a thing or two from what I've been studying the last couple of years, and maybe I can go over to other people's places and learn from them also and document. And there still might be some basketball things here and there on this channel, but not nearly as frequent as it was before. This is kind of where my energy is going into now. It's a much more long-term sustainable goal than playing basketball for the rest of my life. So this is the transition, the step I'm taking into something new. I appreciate you guys' understanding in my 2-year hiatus from the social media game. I know it was long overdue to come back and say what's up, but we're here now, you feel me? And this is a pretty special place. So stay tuned, follow along. We'll make some cool things happen over here. Appreciate it. Love you guys. God bless. Good vibes, good times. Peace. Whew. Let's go say what's up to the girls before we go. Ladies. And one fella. Later, y'all.